from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. It's Week 17 of the NFL on EA Sports. Indianapolis Colts taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Hoosier State and Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis. Just as we were ready for air, it was the Colts emerging from the locker room to great fanfare here in Indy. They're ready to go as the Colts get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. They've been flawless these last couple months, winners of 9 in a row.
And that's the kind of streak you don't see too often in today's NFL since there's so much parity. So the way they've played has been truly remarkable.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
Partner, do we still count this as the holiday season?
A little bit of a gray area, but I think you can.
Okay, well, we just passed it, right? Well, the gifts keep coming to our guy, don't they?
They do.
I mean, think about this now. Clinched the playoff spot. Offensive player of the week in Week 16. I think he's going to keep going. I think he's going to keep firing away. I don't think they pull back at all.
Yeah, and everybody for them rounding into form right now. On first down, they look downfield, and it's complete. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
I think that typically we expect teams to save their home run plays for later in the game when they feel like they have an advantage over a defense. But in this case, they thought they had the advantage right away and took the shot on the first play of the game.
And he's got his man. It's Hilton for the Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Colts are going to take a first quarter lead.
And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone.
Dan Bailey set to kick off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
So here are the Jags now set to get their first drive.
They'll be led out by their quarterback. Back in the NFL for the first time since 2016, it's Colin Kaepernick.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, our team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
And they'll begin by running the option.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
He's tackled.
The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week. 16 carries, 57 yards, and a touchdown as well.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That's a third down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot.
Kaepernick hit, fumble. He lost the football. And I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right, so if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
Marlon Mack, his first carry of the game. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Back to throw here. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
That's into the hands of Pascal. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first.
Well, that's a nice job right there. He's looking downfield, but with no one open, he takes off and tries to run for it. He gets to the sidelines and gets out of bounds with a first down.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. DJ Hayden right there on the coverage.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent.
Now he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. So they've had 2 drives, and he's had the 2 receiving touchdowns.
And how about a game plan where you decide to force feed or feature someone, and it works? First 2 drives, as you noted, end up in touchdown passes. I think they're going to keep going to them until defense makes any kind of an adjustment.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now 14-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
And gearing up for another drive, Tyler Eifert trots back onto the field. Unless he has a Julio Jones-type 300-yard game in him that Julio did against the Panthers in 2016, probably not going to reach 1,000, but still pretty good year.
I think you're right. It's a pretty good year for him, but let's face it, every receiver's dream is to have a game like Julio Jones had against the Carolina Panthers. It's 300 yards on the nose, and it didn't matter what coverage they sent his way. He solved it each and every time. Maybe our guy can get that way in this ballgame. Let's see.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
First down, Jaguars.
Shotgun snap now for Kaepernick. Kaepernick hit, fumble. He lost the football, and the Colts pick it up. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
Okay, after those first 2 drives, I think there's a head coach who's going to be calling for CSI. They're going to want some forensics on this. What is going on with this ball club? Unable to hold on to the football and take care of it.
Yeah, 2 straight fumbles for them to start out.
Yeah, you would think that this team would come in ready to go. Sometimes just mentally not prepared, and it shows up in these types of plays.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. And you figure that he'll probably be a big factor in this one as well.
No question about it, partner. We just saw right there they want to get him the ball in space and see what he can do after the catch.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Zach Pascal becoming just the 2nd player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Extra point try by Bailey. Now 21-0 They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone.
Dan Bailey set to kick off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Solid carry there by Leonard Fournette, and last year he achieved his career high in rushing yards with nearly 1,200, ranked 4th in the AFC, 7th in the NFL. Loves to carry the football, gets stronger as the game goes on.
A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7, brings up 2nd and 3.
Now Leonard Fournette. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
A gain of 4 yards. 1st down, Jacksonville.
This is Fournette. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The tackle there by Antoine Woods.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now they'll throw with Kaepernick. To the left side here for Eifert. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team, but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love?
4 verts.
4 verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to air one out. He's got him in. Complete. That one good for 37 yards.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Michael Pittman, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Colts add on to their lead. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know the receivers love to say, if we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
Bailey got the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half.
Dan Bailey set to kick off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
23-yard line.
The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. Now, looky there. He's getting close to 1,000. I'm sure he knows where he stands. I bet if the offensive line didn't know, he made sure they knew. I'm closing in, guys. Final week of the season.
You know who really informed the offensive line? The offensive line coach.
Okay.
Because it's a big deal for his unit as well to be able to say, hey, we escorted guys to 1,000 yards or more in a season, just like blocking for a 3,000-yard or 4,000-yard passer. So it's a lot of pride on the line, and his pride is paramount because he wants to be able to join them.
Kaepernick hit, fumble. He lost the football. And I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. Now, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Back to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
His throw caught at about the 5. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats, but what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click. And I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down, good luck. He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the route is on here in this first half.
Dan Bailey set to kick off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Taken in at the 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Bring it up, bring it up, bring it up.
Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore. Or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here?
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. To the left side here for Eifert. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down. So he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch. And most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's fourth down.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
Pulled in at the 24.
A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards.
And possession will switch hands, first and 10.
Indy set to go on offense once more.
They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up second and 10.
I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up. It feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
He's got a rifle, and that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. It's a big conversion on third for the Colts. And even 40 yards. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
No, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So 2 thoughts come to mind. 1, get some oxygen. You can fill up your lungs a little bit. And number 2, talk to your guys up front. You need a pass rush to help slow them down.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for first and 10. And that is caught. And the record is his. It's a touchdown. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Bailey now for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So that drive, 4 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown.
Dan Bailey set to kick off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Taken in at the 3. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Now a play fake. Kaepernick. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
First down, Jaguars.
To throw, Kaepernick. They'll set up the screen to Fournette. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Working from the gun, it's Kaepernick. Complete to the right side, it's Eifert. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
On the play. And it's 3rd down.
Again, they'll throw with Kaepernick. Now they set up the screen, that's complete. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Kaepernick to throw again. Connection made with Chenault. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Again, it's Kaepernick. And he's got it. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
2nd and goal at the 3-yard line.
Now Kaepernick again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd and goal. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as he'll try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. The kick by Lambeau is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit.
Jaguars 3.
Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll start in the AFC South, a division matchup between Tennessee and Houston. And it's the Texans who are out in front. Kenny Stills, a touchdown reception. Next, we head up to the Windy City. Check on the Bears at home, Soldier Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Packers. Mitchell Trubisky's looking good. 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. Preston Williams, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Dan Bailey set to kick off.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Taken in at the 3. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
26-yard line.
And the Jacksonville offense on their way out again as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season as this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular. Kaepernick hit, fumble. He lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. And he will bring it back to the 4-yard line.
A fumble on the play.
And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. This is caught, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
3rd and goal.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Zach Pascal there to make the grab. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown.
Dan Bailey set to kick off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
At their own 20-yard line.
Let's see now what Colin Kaepernick has been up to so far in this game. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. They'll start with the option. Kaepernick hit. Fumble. He lost the football. And I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Zach Pascal there to make the grab. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
Here's Bailey now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it.
Dan Bailey set to kick off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Yeah, we dominate today.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. So you can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over.
And a loose football, and the Colts pick it up. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And now 3 drives, 3 fumbles.
What's amazing about it is when we go around and watch practices, how many times do we see them put that sleeve over a football now to make it more slippery and hard to handle? It's almost like they're playing with that sleeve on the ball right now. Was that 3 drives?
Yep.
3 fumbles?
3 fumbles.
It's time to change our luck some way, somehow. Focus, concentration, you'll hear those words on the bench in a big way right now. I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into a bigger point. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And Pascal's got it. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He's got another 1st down, and he's also just a few yards short of 200 for the ball game. They'll look to throw again. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Zach Pascal there to make the grab. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Extra point try by Bailey. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown.
Dan Bailey set to kick off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. On first down, Kaepernick under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Darius Leonard in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. He had 3 of those sacks last week en route to being the AFC Defensive Player of the Week 1 right there. How do you block him now?
That's the question you think that they'd be able to answer. After having 3 the week before, you'd make all the necessary adjustments in practice, but he's such an imposing force, he knows how to get to the quarterback anyway.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. From the gun, it's Kaepernick. Short pass, Eifert on the receiving end. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
A gain of 14.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
And that is incomplete. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
Their own 20-yard line.
And the Colts coming out now. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. A good throw here, finding Pascal. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Zach Pascal there to make the grab. And the Colts have got it on cruise control. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And, you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
And he's got it up and through. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown.
Dan Bailey set to kick off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. And his throw is incomplete. Laviska Shenault, the rookie, his intended target. But now it'll be third down. To throw is Kaepernick. Kaepernick hit. Fumble. He lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Bailey got the extra point, and that will extend this big lead.
Dan Bailey set to kick off.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Taken in at the 3. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
And now out come the Jags. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10. Here's Kaepernick to throw. On the slant, this is Chark. And oh, he coughed it up. And the Colts pick it up. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Zach Pascal, 41 yards. And the Colts take advantage of the turnover to put up 6. They seemingly just continue to score at will. And as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win. But one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ballgame.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead will swell by one more.
Dan Bailey set to kick off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
26-yard line.
Kaepernick to throw on second down. Short pass, Eifert on the receiving end. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Fournette fighting through. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, They don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Laviska Shenault, the intended target. And it's second down. Shotgun snap now for Kaepernick. This is Shenault on the receiving end. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Complete to Laviska Shenault. It's a gain of 4, and it's third down.
Now Kaepernick to the left side here for Eifert. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Give him 22 there on the third down conversion.
The Jaguar first down.
Kaepernick now on first down. Over the middle, he's got Shenault.
Kaepernick.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Darren Lee picks it, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. And got his man complete. There he goes left side. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 78 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era when we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fitness.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they're looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown.
Dan Bailey set to kick off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
They're on 19-yard line.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. But after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Kaepernick will try again on 2nd down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Trey Wayne's the Michigan State man right there in coverage. The Jaguars on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. To throw, Kaepernick. And that is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And taken right on the 30. A good return there, 17 yards. And Now will come the offense as they take over. And the Colts getting ready to go.
And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Oh, yeah! Let's get him! Come on!
Bailey now for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time.
Dan Bailey set to kick off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Kaepernick now on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The running back, Leonard Fournette, his intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Working from the gun, it's Kaepernick. Kaepernick hit, fumble. He lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. And he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
They're certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the 4th quarter.
Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now 3rd and goal.
Gain of 9 on the play. It's 3rd and goal.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Josh Allen. And the Jaguars are able to come up with a goal line stand. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there, and I know if we go to the...
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now.
On the return, it's Rodgers.
Indianapolis set to take the field. And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. It appears they're going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there for Indy. 44 yards. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
1st and 10. At their own 20-yard line.
Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can...
A big seam, and he might go all the way. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Jacksonville.
All you hear from coaches and personnel directors in the NFL, how difficult it is for a rookie receiver to have an impact on the game. So much to learn, so much offense to absorb. Looks like he's picking it up pretty well.
I would say so. And how about that for your first career NFL touchdown?
I don't know that he envisioned it quite that way, but if he was smart, he probably dreamed about it a little bit.
Rodgers on the return. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Indianapolis, they'll wrap up the campaign an impressive 15-1. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, it'll be a 10-loss season as they wrap up 6-10. And I think you have to say, ultimately, this was a team that really underachieved. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.